I think, like you said, maybe for us is to the people who are not in the church, the way we do life and towards people, so people can see actually they desire to come, basically show the love of Christ outside to people, especially those who have had a negative experience in their last church establishment, to actually show the love of God to them, so that they actually will wonder, why are we doing this? Why are we acting like that? And by the grace of God, they may come to a service or go to another church. But yeah, I think we have to show that love outside the walls,
Yeah,
which we always talk about in
yeah,
church anyway.
yeah,
So
yeah, 100%.
yeah.
Jesus said, love one another. By this, men will know that you are my
Yes. Yeah.
disciples. So when they're seeing genuine love amongst believers,
Yeah.
they're gonna think, okay, what these people have,
Yes.
I want that.
Yeah.
I need that.
Yeah.
Because in reality, everybody wants love.
Yeah.
Yeah.
There's no if but or maybe. We all want it. We might try and pretend or put on a outer shell to kind of protect ourselves, but deep down we want it.
So what about, like, from a perspective of church hurt, do you think, what would you advise someone who has had that and they're just like, I don't want to do church? Like, how would you advise them to come back to it? Or what is church hurt, even first, for anyone who might not understand that phrase? Because I think we use that a lot. So much so that people calling what's not hurt, they're calling it church hurt.
For me personally, when I think of church hurt, I think of abuse. So that could be spiritual neglect, using your authority to use somebody, sexual, physical, emotional, to hurt somebody. That's what I see as church hurt. But I think sometimes, and it depends who I'm speaking to, sometimes people see an offense and that becomes a church hurt. So for me, like, if me and Sean go to the same church, I don't like what you said to me, and you're not coming to say sorry, I might say I don't want to go here because I'm not comfortable. I might call that church hurt, because like you said, different people are going to go to church like a family. You're not always going to get along with each other.
Yeah.
But I'm not dismissing that people have been to church and they do get hurt. So, I mean, that's how I see it. But I know that there are different people that may think something different. But
I definitely agree. There's different levels to it.
yes.
Like, I think because we've kind of conflated the terminology to my personal dislike to a thing with extreme abuse. So the moment I say church hurt, my mind naturally does think of extreme abuse.
Yeah.
But it's just a disagreement I had with Dolly. I didn't like the way she spoke to me. Or I didn't like the way she looked at me. Or why is she giving you a coffee and didn't give me one?
Is that real?
Not me, but I'm just using random examples. But, I think from the real extreme scenarios where there is genuine hurt, I know of an individual that their pastor made inappropriate, suggestive comments to an individual. And I'm happy with the way that person kind of handled it, because they spoke to the leadership within the church, they spoke to the pastor themselves, and they had a meeting, and obviously they agreed to go their separate ways, but it wasn't in a place where they're beefing each other, for lack of a better phrase. They were just, cordially accepted the apologies from the pastor, and obviously they went their way. And that person is looking for a new church, but they're not like, oh, I hate church. They recognize that this pastor was in the wrong, rather than the church system is wrong. But then there are some circumstances where that particular church didn't handle things well.
Yes.
And for such an individual that's been in that sort of circumstance, I will implore them to kind of get in touch with some form of Christian leader, because there's so many out there that are in reach to people, and get advice from them, speak to them, get counsel from them, and find out, okay, what do I do from here, rather than going into the world and getting their counsel and find out, you know what, forget them all. You wouldn't do that if you broke a leg. If you had one bad incident in a hospital, you're not going to be like, I'm never going to hospital ever again. I'm just going to do this in my house. No, you will find another establishment that will help you with a broken leg.
True.
But I think that with what you said, going to another leader, I feel like people don't do that because the trust is broken. So they start to paint. If it's a leader that's hurt them, they paint all other leaders like that.
But
So they find it hard.
we won't do that with anything else.
Yeah.
If I have beef with my manager at work, I'm not going to be like, I'm never working again. All managers are evil.
Yeah.
Some people do that,
Yeah.
like really immature people, and that's why like
They'll
not
never find a
work
job
and-
again.
Yeah,
That
and
never.
it just creates a vicious cycle. But I think that we probably, as a church, need to encourage maturity from early on. Like talk, like say it to people. Like when we go on retreats, it's always said that look, we're very close to each other for the next 5 days. People will step on your toes.
Yeah.
Forgive them before the offense. So
Yeah.
if you tell somebody that's a new Christian or they're just joining your church, like it should be part of the 101 membership class. Like, just be like, look, we're human. We are Christians, but we're human. I might say something you don't like. Maybe it's wrong, maybe it's right. Come and speak to me about it. Go speak to your leader about it. Like, encourage that open and honest conversation. Some people will take to it, some people won't. But at least it was said from the beginning that, look, I'm human. I will make mistakes.